timid and restrained stage persona that you have, is that the real Suzanne Vega?
Well, I'd say restrained, yeah. Timid, not exactly, but I suppose I was timid when I began, but I've been doing it for 12 years, so I'm not quite as timid anymore. But I would say, yeah, I'm pretty restrained. But, you know, I have another side, too, that may come out at some point.
Which is, you have another side.
Which is not restrained. Yeah, so that may come out at some point, but it hasn't so far on this tour. The one time I was unrestrained, I ended up getting sick the next day, so this is why I have this cold, is because we stayed up really late one night carousing and
now that you're playing to larger audiences, do you find you have to change your live performance to these bigger audiences?
A little bit, yeah. I found that if I'm at all scattered, it's harder to maintain the crowd's interest, or I feel them restless or getting nervous or shuffling around. So I have to be much more concentrated, and whatever I say, I have to be more forthright and be clearer. But I found also that it still works even if I stand very still, as long as I'm conscious that there's, you know, a row of people somewhere way up there near the ceiling. So I don't run around a lot. I'd move more, but I don't run around a lot, even so.
I read somewhere that you enjoy sitting around pretending to be someone else. Is that how you get ideas for songs?
Well, yeah, actually. I mean, I suppose it's a childhood habit, you know. But yeah, I say, well, what would I be feeling if I were my friend Brian today, you know? And that's how Tom Steiner was written, was I was pretending to be my friend Brian when I was eating breakfast one morning.
I am sitting in the morning.
In Luca's case, there was a real boy named Luca, but he was not an abused child as far as I know. He was just a child I'd seen playing in the street who seemed sort of distinctive, and maybe he was a little more sensitive than the other kids he was playing with, but he seemed distinctive. So I suppose I was pretending that day also.
So you don't actually write from personal experiences?
Well, the thing is, there is always a piece of my personal experience in each song, but it's not autobiographical in the way that, you know, it's not as though I'm opening my diary and reading a page from it. There's always some kernel of personal experience there, but I prefer to throw my voice with it or to put it in another form, because there is a part of me that feels very sort of modest, and I don't feel like infringing my personal life on the audience who may or may not be interested. You know.
How do you feel about comparisons to people like Joni Mitchell?
Well, I suppose it's, you know, if I were a journalist, I might say, oh yeah, she's kind of like Joni Mitchell, because I think the last person on the scene to be successful who was similar to, I mean, I'm obviously more like Joni Mitchell than I am like Madonna, you know, but I still think there are definite, you know, I think we have our own distinct style.
Well, did you expect success?
Did I expect it? Not really. I had thought that at some point maybe something would happen, but I was not expecting to, you know, on this scale. I mean, 2 years ago I was a receptionist and I quit my day job to do this.
What's the best part about being successful?
The best part?
Yeah.
The best part is that I get to sit in a room and pretend to be different people and write it down, and then I get paid for it, you know.
And the
That's
worst
a
part?
really nice thing. Well, the worst part is that that I get paid for it, but I also have to talk about it, I'd say, six hours a day. And then the other 2 hours I spend, you know, actually singing the songs that I wrote, even if they're 10 years old. So that means that I don't have a chance to work on the new material as much as I would like to. So I think that's probably...
Okay, I can take a hint. Yeah, that's fine.